We can think of the matrix as a group of systems that keep us in bondage, right? That keep us stuck. And they are set up to be so that we don't realize that they are keeping us stuck, that these systems are actually keeping us in bondage, right? That they are promoting separation, that they are promoting us to look outside of ourselves in order to find the gifts that we have within. And when I say the gifts that we have within, I don't just refer to spiritual gifts, I refer to the human capacity, to the power that we hold within ourselves, right? And so, because Earth is a school, right, we can think of Earth as being Harvard, like the big leagues. This is not for the weak, okay? So when we chose to come here, right? And I sound strange saying this, right? That's just, it's programmed to be this way as well. It's programmed for people who speak out on what exactly it is that we need to be focusing on, what exactly it is that we need to be putting our energy into. For us to sound like a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs type of scenario. But in reality, if we want to come out of bondage, and again, truth is stranger than fiction. So if this does not resonate, scroll on. It's not meant for it to be something that is, carved into anybody. Truth resonates, truth is remembered. You'll be able to identify with me in a way of shape or form. And if not, it could just be planting a seed. But this is not for us to go back and forth, because even if you did try to go back and forth with me, that doesn't resonate with my being, so it just wouldn't work, right? But again, this, I'm not for everybody, but this truth is stranger than fiction. This is a school, Earth is a school. We come here to experience things, to learn about expansion, to like expand our souls to a greater capacity for our souls to evolve, and to remember who we are, and to go back to light, to turn darkness into light, right? And in order to do that, we have to go through darkness, right? And so hence why a lot of those who have awoken, a lot of those who remember who they are, they would have those tragic stories, like the ones that only come up in movies type of scenario, where their lives could be like a whole book and a movie and all types of that. Because the tragic story of our lives, this is the last reincarnation that we will be having, therefore we're meant to awaken. So the last incarnation is usually the toughest, and we usually go through a lot of things at the beginning because we pay off all of our karmic debt, right? Which is why, again, the programs are set up to keep us in a slumber, in fear, or enraged, right? Whether religion, whether politics, whether race, whatever it is that we are subscribing to that is keeping us from awakening to our potential as individuals in humanity, as a spark of source. It's meant to be that way so that we can, one, overcome it, and two, be able to transmute that into light, right? And then the other thing is that we're not to pass any judgment, right, on anything. The reason being that anything we pass judgment onto, we're going to have to repeat in another lifetime. So for those of us who have awoken, we don't pass judgment onto anything. That's why we're able to learn from all types of religion, from all types of teachings, because we understand that we can get the goodness out of it, because for everything, there's both. There's light and darkness. There cannot be one without the other, like polarity, hot and cold type of scenario, right? But again, this is to help you remember, to help you even just anchor your perception onto something different, which is also a form of healing, right? Because for those of us who have gone through traumatic things to the point of like to the pits of like dark, 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 we we really have to find something else to anchor our reality into, right? So that we can heal, so that we can come out of that darkness, right? And a lot of us, we were stuck in darkness for a long time. And some of the darkness that we've been stuck into, like the other day, I was speaking about jealousy and hatred and greed and how that is passed on through generations as well, right? So there are some of us, there's some people out there who have been reliving the same scenarios lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, right? And so they carry on that pain, they carry on that hatred, that they carry that karma through each reincarnation, right? And so the more that the time passes by, the more that they heal, that they choose to not heal, the stronger this gets, right? And so it gets to the point of they become very diabolical, like diabolical, right? Because that's just how it is. That's just how it is. When you go again and you reincarnate again, you have to go through the things that you didn't overcome. And your soul, the more diabolical you get, the less of your soul you have left, right? And so nobody teaches you these things. Nobody goes to tell us these things, because the point of the matrix is to keep us in a slumber, either in a slumber, enraged, or in fear, so that we can continue to reincarnate into this loop, right? And so I don't know for you guys, but as for me, I am not coming back here. This is my last time here, and I'm here to teach. And so that's what I'll do. So for me, as I was awakening and releasing all of that that didn't serve me and healing, I had to do a lot of healing. I constantly have to do healing. Healing is a gradual process. We continue to heal. There's more things that come up, even things from before might rise up again, and we might be able to identify it now because we have healed certain things, right? But when I was in my journey, when I was beginning to heal, I had to anchor my perception, my identity into something else. I had to believe that everything that I had gone through, everything that was done, and everything that I did was for a greater purpose. And the way that I did that was by switching over to, okay, this is a school. Earth is a school. I chose to reincarnate into this bloodline because remember, my background with the things that have gone on in my life, how my innocence has been taken, and how my life basically is like the Truman show type of scenario. I had to anchor it into something different, because in order for radical change to happen, your reality, your identity needs to be anchored in something that you believe to be true, right? And so out of everything that had been taught to me, the one thing that I believed to be true was that I chose to be here, that I chose to reincarnate into that type of family, that I chose the experiences that I had gone through and the things that had been done to me for a greater good, to be able to be used as a vessel for the Most High God. And as I changed that mindset, as I changed that in my mind, I was able to now find meaning and purpose into my life today.